Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Brooke betrays Ridge, keeps quiet about Hope and Carter's sneaky plan. The bold and the beautiful B&B. Spoilers reveal that Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, will have to figure out her next move after overhearing something not meant for her ears. B&B fans can expect a tough dilemma that Brooke didn't see coming at all. Outside the cabin during the week of November 18 to 22, Brooke will listen in on Hope Logan's Annika Knoll conversation with Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, and learn what they've cooked up. Carter has found a way to score control of Forrester Creations through the LLC paperwork that Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K. ordered. Since Ridge and Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McSins would trust Carter to handle stuff like this, they don't look over the details and typically just sign whatever paperwork they've given. That gives Carter an advantage since Steffi and Ridge could sign off on him running Forrester Creations without even realizing it. Carter has assured Hope that they can run the company together, so she's part of his vision too. Of course, Carter and Hope may not realize the level of chaos they're about to unleash. Ridge and Steffi are going to be more furious than they've ever been if Hope and Carter pull this off. This is some next-level trickery from a COO that Steffi and Ridge previously trusted, so they're sure to hit the roof. Brooke will have a chance to stop what Carter and Hope are setting in motion once she eavesdrops, but will she actually do it? Part of Brooke may be tempted to alert Ridge to Carter's sneakiness, but another part of her will want to right Steffi's wrong against Hope. This is a way to get Hope reinstated at Forrester Creations, so Hope may beg Brooke to keep her mouth shut. Ridge previously acknowledged that they were always going to be loyal to their daughters, so that could have been a hint about Brooke ultimately choosing loyalty to Hope over Ridge. After all, that's what Ridge has been doing lately with Steffi by supporting her decision to fire Hope. Brooke feels betrayed, but now it may be her turn to betray Ridge on a much grander scale. If Ridge and Steffi lose control of the company because Brooke kept her mouth shut, our predictions point to much more trouble. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Brooke could lose Ridge if he gets updates on a betrayal like this, so stay tuned for any marriage-ending news ahead. The Forrester mansion hummed with energy as the latest scandal brewed behind the scenes. Brooke Logan, always a magnet for drama, found herself standing at the crossroads of loyalty and self-interest. This time, it wasn't just her marriage on the line, it was the delicate fabric of trust that held the Forrester family together. A hidden truth. It all started innocently enough, or so Brooke told herself. She had overheard Hope whispering to Carter about an intriguing plan while passing by Forrester Creations late one evening. At first, she dismissed their conversation as harmless office banter. But as the details unraveled, Brooke realized Hope and Carter were treading dangerous territory. Their plan revolved around a secret project that could destabilize the Forrester brand. Hope wanted to create a shadow line of eco-friendly couture, using off-the-books funding Carter had discreetly diverted. While the idea was noble, the execution was riddled with deceit. If Ridge or Eric found out, the fallout would be catastrophic, not just for Hope and Carter, but for the entire Forrester family. Brooke's dilemma. Brooke's initial reaction was to confront Hope. She had stormed into her daughter's office, determined to get to the bottom of it. But Hope, as composed as ever, pleaded her case. "Mom, this isn't about undermining anyone. It's about proving I can innovate without being in Steffi's shadow," Hope said, her voice filled with a mix of desperation and defiance. "And Carter's helping because he believes in me. Please, don't tell Ridge." Brooke hesitated. She knew how much Hope struggled to carve out her own identity amidst the overwhelming presence of the Forresters. Her maternal instinct told her to protect her daughter at all costs. But keeping this from Ridge, that was a betrayal of a different kind. And yet, she stayed silent. Ridge grows suspicious. Ridge, however, wasn't blind. He noticed Brooke's distracted demeanor during dinner, her absent-minded responses whenever business came up. It didn't help that Steffi had mentioned some discrepancies in the Forrester accounts, raising alarms that something wasn't right. "Brooke, is there something you're not telling me?" Ridge asked one evening, his piercing gaze fixed on her. "You've been distant, and I can't shake the feeling that you're keeping something from me." Brooke plastered on her best reassuring smile. "Don't be ridiculous, Ridge. You know me, I'm just worried about the usual family dramas." But Ridge wasn't convinced. His instincts, honed by years of navigating the tangled web of Forrester loyalties, screamed that there was more to the story. Hope and Carter's risky moves. Meanwhile, Hope and Carter continued their clandestine efforts, unaware of the storm brewing around them. Hope's designs for the Eco line were stunning, a fresh take on sustainability that could revolutionize the fashion industry. Carter, ever the smooth operator, had managed to reroute funds without triggering immediate suspicion. But their secretive behavior didn't go unnoticed. Thomas, always on the lookout for an edge over his half-sister, began to piece together fragments of their plan. He spotted Carter in heated discussions with vendors outside Forrester Creations and overheard Hope making cryptic phone calls. Thomas confronted Hope in her office one afternoon. "Hope, what are you up to?" he demanded, his tone sharp. "You're hiding something, and I know it involves Carter. Don't think I won't dig until I find out." Hope's heart raced, but she refused to back down. "Thomas, you're imagining things. Maybe focus on your own designs instead of meddling in my work." But Thomas wasn't convinced. He knew a cover-up when he saw one, and he was determined to expose it. Brooke's secret comes at a cost. As the days passed, Brooke found it increasingly difficult to maintain her facade. She avoided Ridge's questions and redirected conversations whenever the topic veered too close to Hope or the business. The weight of her silence grew heavier, especially as she watched Ridge stress over the unexplained discrepancies. Her betrayal became even more personal when Ridge confided in her late one night. "I feel like the walls are closing in, Logan," he admitted, his voice tinged with frustration. "There's something going on at Forrester, and I can't put my finger on it. It's like there's a crack in the foundation, and I'm afraid it's going to bring everything down." Brooke's chest tightened. She wanted to tell him everything, to unburden herself from the secret that gnawed at her, but she couldn't, not yet. "I'm sure you'll figure it out," she said softly, brushing a hand through his hair. "You always do." The fallout begins. Eventually, the truth began to unravel. Steffi and Thomas, working together for once, discovered the discrepancies in the accounts and traced them back to Carter. The revelation hit Ridge like a freight train. He felt betrayed, not just by Carter, but by the realization that Brooke had known and said nothing. When Ridge confronted her, the pain in his eyes was undeniable. "How could you, Brooke? How could you keep this from me?" he demanded, his voice thick with anger and hurt. "I was trying to protect Hope," she defended, tears streaming down her face. "She's my daughter, Ridge. I couldn't let her dream be destroyed." "But at what cost?" Ridge shot back. "You didn't just betray me. You betrayed this family, this company." Hope and Carter faced the music. Hope and Carter were called to account for their actions in a tense boardroom showdown. Eric, Steffi, and Ridge laid bare the consequences of their deceit. While Eric admired Hope's vision, he couldn't condone the methods she and Carter had used. "You've tarnished the trust we've built," Eric said gravely, "and that's not something we can easily repair." Carter offered to resign, taking full responsibility for the financial maneuvering. Hope, however, refused to let him fall on his sword alone. "This was my idea," she said, her voice steady despite the tension in the room. "If anyone's to blame, it's me." A marriage on the brink. For Brooke and Ridge, the fallout was deeply personal. Ridge struggled to reconcile his love for Brooke with the betrayal he felt. Brooke, meanwhile, grappled with the possibility that her silence had irreparably damaged their marriage. "I love you, Ridge," she said one evening, her voice trembling. "I made a mistake, but it came from a place of love. Can't you see that?" Ridge looked at her, his expression unreadable. "I see it, Brooke, but love isn't enough to fix this, not when trust is broken." As the dust settled, the Forrester family faced an uncertain future. The cracks in their foundation had been exposed, leaving everyone to wonder if they could ever truly rebuild. And for Brooke and Ridge, the question remained, could their love withstand yet another betrayal, or was this the end of their story?